With Dune showing in Australia, and I have watched it a week ago, I thought it's a good idea to come up with a simple and visualized pre-watching guide for those like me who had no idea what Dune is about, but still wanting to watch it because of its sensory trailer or posters, or just because of Timothy or Zendaya. I will try not to include any spoilers, focus only on the essential background information that will help you to enjoy the movie with more clarification. Let's go! Hello everyone, welcome back to Visual Literacy Hub. This is Angela. I created this channel to record my daily observations and analysis about this very visual world that we live in. My analysis is 100% personal, nothing professional. This is about you and I together to see, think, and share. Well, let the fun begin! The first thing you should know about Dune is that this Frank Herbert's novel is a big deal in the sci-fi world. It is heavily worshipped by both sci-fi lovers and the literary crowd, and it is the inspiration of many later sci-fi stories and movies. This novel is more than just a sci-fi. It creates a grandiose universe that reflects almost every aspect of human society: politics, races, religion, ecology, philosophy, technology, sociology, and many more. But some of you may ask, how come I've never seen any sci-fi movies of such unique visual style presented in the trailer? Well, in the sci-fi world, there are lots of different subgenres, such as cerebral science, space travel, time travel, robots and monsters, aliens and disasters, metaverse and AI, etc. But as an audience, I'm more exposed to one particular kind of sci-fi movies, the one that is heavily focused on mechanical elements like mecha, spaceship, armor, robots. I know there are great hard science sci-fi movies such as Interstellar, but when you ask me about sci-fi movies, the images that appear in my head are still mainly these keywords such as robots, spaceship, fighting, fast, intense, everyone tries to bomb everyone. Many people who have watched Dune also told me that they found Dune as a very slow movie, which, despite the fact it looks beautiful, a little bit hypnotic. In fact, the huge commercial success of movies like Star Wars and Transformer makes many general audience like me feel that there's only this one major genre in sci-fi movies. So when Dune brings us a style that is profound, religiously enriched, mysterious, solemn, barren, even a bit lonely, which has to be slowly baked and requires some patience to appreciate, many people find it boring and not very stimulating. Because the visual imprint of the realistic mechanical style of film is deeply rooted in the back of our mind. From this, we can see that when a specific genre or style occupies the public views for too long, our taste solidifies, and it will take a while for people to break such rigidity. We need different types of films to diversify our visual aesthetic, just as we need different types of aesthetics in all other fields of our lives. Just like how I love movies like Fast and Furious, but I'm also tired of its repeated aesthetic of crushing cars, plans, brothers turned into enemies and then brothers again. Movies like Dune help us to slow down, to really zip and taste, rather than serving the thrill that stimulates your brain for 2 hours and then quickly disappears. Now, let's come back to the topic, starting from time and location. Dune is set 20,000 years in the future. It's an era where humans have already settled and colonized many planets throughout the universe. But as you have seen in the trailer, people are still fighting using swords, and you don't see too much AI stuff. This is because 10,000 years before the story in Dune begins, humans created extremely advanced thinking machine, but it became so powerful that a war named Butlerian Jihad between human and machine broke out. As a result, thinking machines are banned, and that's why you only see people in the movie using force fields and other technologies as long as it doesn't involve a thinking machine. It's also worth knowing a bit about the different planets and politics between people who live on them before watching the movie. There are 4 important planets, each with an important political power. Firstly, we have the beautiful oceanic planet Caladan, which is home to our lovely Timothy and his family of the House Atreides for hundreds of years. His ancestor was made the governor of this planet by the Emperor for his effort in the early battle. The planet is benevolently ruled by the House Atreides, flourishing in economy, orchard, fishing, wine trading, and everyone's pretty happy. Next, we have the industrial planet Gaelic Prime, ruled by this ugly-looking dude of the House Harkonnen, whose ancestor fled from the Battle of Corrine due to cowardice. Rich in mineral resources, their economy relies on mining and manufacturing, resulting in depletion of bioresources and heavy pollution. The society here evolves around power and ruthless conquest, a typical home base for the bad guys, right? Then we have planet Arrakis, a bloody hot and dry planet consisting almost exclusively of desert, hence the planet alternative name Dune. The brutal environment necessitates frugal use of resources and energy, especially water. Arrakis' native people, the Freemen, Zendaya is one of them, are often the victims of conflicts because of its very unique natural resources, the spice. Consuming spice lengthens your lifespan, controls your mind, allows fortune telling, allows faster than light travel. Sounds cool, hey? But precious things like this naturally attract greedy people and endless war. This planet has been ruthlessly ruled under the Harkonnens for many years. This mandates the need for freemen to become warriors who use the environment of Arrakis to resist them. Finally, we have planet Chitin, home to the Emperor family, House Corino. The Galactic Padishah Empire, also known as the Imperium, governs the entire known universe. The Emperor's elite military force, Sardaukar, is feared across the universe for their ruthless but extraordinary fighting skills. The story of Dune begins with the Emperor sending the Atreides to take over Arrakis from the Harkonnens and oversee the mining of spice, which obviously is an act to piss the Harkonnens off in order to start a war between the two houses and ultimately preventing them from becoming too successful. Sounds like a typical Emperor idea, right? Other than the 4 planets, the residents, and the main political conflict, it also helps to get familiar with some other important characters. First of all, you'll find these mysterious ladies in the movie playing an important role, Bene Gesserit, an exclusive sisterhood whose members train their bodies and minds through years of physical and mental conditioning to obtain superhuman powers and abilities, including some kind of collective consciousness, and use the voice, a way of speaking that can force anyone who listens to take any desired action. They're also truth-sayers, capable of pointing out lies told by anyone. This powerful organization involves in a long-term selective breeding program, planning marriages between the different houses with the end goal of creating a Kwisatz Haderach, the chosen one, who can see far into the future and help mankind stay on the golden path. Yeah, I know, every movie, every organization like this loves to look for the chosen one, right? And by the way, Timothy's mom, Jessica, is one of the Bene Gesserit. Next, we have the Mentat, people who are highly skilled in logic, computing, and cognitive thinking. Our protagonist, Paul, the master assassin of the House Atreides, and this guy who works for the House of Harkonnen are all Mentats. Mentats were the solution to the ban on the thinking machines, and they typically working as a political or military advisor to the great houses in the galaxy. Then we have this smart-looking guy, Dr. Yue. He and other doctors serving individual houses for generations all graduate from the Suk Medical School, which is a prominent medical school in the Dune universe. Suk doctors are the universe's most competent and trusted physicians. Those who have received the Suk imperial conditioning are incapable of inflicting any harm upon people they serve. Now, let's talk about the cutest creatures in the movie, the sandworms. They are perhaps another huge attraction of the movie. Known as the shy hulud in the movie, sandworms are these supermassive beings that plow through the deserts of Arrakis, eating everything that dares come into their territory. They are what makes harvesting spice so difficult. but they're also sacred to the freemen, who seem to know a way to carefully live around them. Lastly, let's quickly mention the Stillsuit, an absolute necessity for anyone who hopes to survive outside the heavily fortified capital city of Arrakis. These suits are designed to protect the wearer from the sun and the sand by recycling and filtering every drop of liquid from sweat to urine to breath for drinking. The still suits designed by the native freemen are considered to be the most effective ones, as it's said that they are capable of recycling all but a thimbleful of water per day. That's all I want to share with you in this episode. Thank you for watching. Hope this will help you to take less time wondering about the unfamiliar terminologies and spend more time indulging in the wonderful aesthetics and plot when watching the movie. When the movie is off screen, I may make another episode to discuss the visual design in the movie further. Like this video and subscribe if you think it's helpful or it inspired some critical thinking in you. See you next Wednesday. Bye!